What if Arsenal's next truly elite midfield statement is not some raw prospect for the future, not some panic buy at the end of the window, but a proven Premier League warrior already dominating the tempo, the duels, the transitions, and the big moments right under everyone's nose? Haha! What if Sandro Tonali is that guy? And what if Arsenal are quietly positioning themselves to strike before this summer turns absolutely crazy? Because Gooners, this rumor has got that feeling, that dangerous feeling, that don't ignore this one energy. Yeah, Tonali is not just a good midfielder, not just a stylish name, not just some fashionable transfer link floating around for clicks. Newcastle's own official profile calls him one of Italy's most highly rated players, and the Premier League's official site lists him right there as a Newcastle midfielder in the heart of one of the toughest leagues in the world. This is a player with pedigree, steel, composure, and real top-level experience. Now, let's be honest from the jump, because credibility matters. This Arsenal story is still a rumor, not an official negotiation, not a confirmed bid, not some here we go moment. The specific claim that Arsenal are favorites appears to trace back to Metro coverage that has then been picked up by outlets like Yahoo Sports and OneFootball, so we have to treat it carefully. But even with that caution, the fact this rumor is spreading tells you something important. Tonali is being discussed as one of the elite midfield names who could shape the summer market, and Arsenal are being put right in that conversation. Woohoo! And if Arsenal really are anywhere near this race, then that tells you the club are thinking big again. And here's why this hits different for Arsenal fans. Look at the midfield Arteta already has. The Premier League squad page lists Martin Odegaard, Eberechi Eze, Christian Norgard, Mikel Merino, and Martin Zubamendi among Arsenal's midfield options. And that already tells you this is a team built on control, intelligence, and rhythm. But Tonali would bring something slightly different to that mix, something nastier, more aggressive, more relentless. He gives you bite without losing elegance. He gives you structure without slowing the game down. He gives you that snapping intensity in duels and that immediate forward thrust when the moment opens up. That is why the idea is so exciting. He does not just fill a space, he changes the personality of a midfield. Now let's talk about the player himself, because this is where the hype starts making football sense. Tonali is 25. Transfermarkt currently lists his market value at 75 million euros, and his contract there is shown through June 2028. That means any move would be expensive, serious, heavyweight business, not a bargain bin deal, not a cheap gamble, a real statement. And when you pay that kind of money, you are paying for certainty, for level, for mentality. Newcastle signed him in 2023 from Milan, and since then, he has grown into one of the most respected midfielders in English football. Ah, that matters. Arsenal would not be guessing on adaptation here. This is not, can he handle the league? He's already in the league. He's already in the fire. He already knows the speed, the pressure, the physicality.
That's what makes this rumor feel so powerful emotionally. Arsenal fans are used to dreaming about technical midfielders, controllers, creators, elegant passers. Tonali gives you all of that, but with edge, with grit, with that look in his game that says, I'm not here to survive midfield, I'm here to own it. Ha! You can just picture it, can't you? Declan Rice smashing through challenges, Tonali hunting second balls, Odegaard knitting the play together, and suddenly, Arsenal are not just difficult to play against, they are overwhelming, they are suffocating, they are brutal in the best possible way. That's title-winning midfield energy, that's Champions League knockout energy, that's the kind of core that drags a club through the biggest nights. This is an inference based on Tonali's established Premier League role and Arsenal's current midfield construction, but it is exactly why the link resonates so strongly with supporters. And there is another layer to this story that makes it even more fascinating. Arsenal's current season still reflects a club operating at a very high level. Reuters reported today, March 7th, that Arsenal reached the FA Cup quarter-finals and remain in the hunt on multiple fronts, while Arsenal's official squad number announcement and Premier League squad listings show a deep team with quality spread across the pitch. So, if Arsenal are genuinely planning a move for a player like Tonali, this is not about desperation. This is not about patching up a broken project. This is about refinement. It is about turning a great side into a monstrous one. That's the difference. Big clubs don't wait for weakness to become obvious. Big clubs attack the future early. Of course, there is a giant obstacle here, and we have to say it loud. Newcastle do not need to sell him. Their official profile presents him as a core first-team midfielder, and nothing from the club itself suggests they are inviting offers. The chatter around a possible move is coming from transfer reports, not from Newcastle saying they are open for business. So any Arsenal move, if it ever happened, would have to be huge, really huge. It would probably depend on Newcastle's own summer plans, European qualification picture, and Arsenal's outgoing business as well. The article you shared already points to that balancing act, and that is realistic. Major signings usually need major planning. This is chess, not checkers. But even with all that caution, here's why I still love this story from an Arsenal point of view. If Arsenal are being linked to Sandro Tonali, it means the club are aiming at the right shelf. They are not shopping for hype alone. They are not chasing a name that sounds good only on social media. They are being associated with a midfielder who has already proven he can perform in the Premier League, who has pedigree with Italy, who has the technical level to play for an elite possession side, and who has the physical and mental sharpness to raise the floor and ceiling of a squad. That is the kind of rumor that should excite every Gooner. Not because it's done, not because it's easy, but because it fits the ambition Arsenal should have. And let me tell you something, Gooners. If this club ever managed to pull this off, if Arteta ever got a midfield piece like Tonali into an already powerful structure, the message to the rest of England would be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Arsenal would not just be saying they want to compete, they would be saying they are coming for everything. Control, aggression, intensity, composure, experience, and that winning edge, all bundled into one signing. That is why this rumor grabs people. That is why the fan base lights up. That is why the idea won't go away. Because Sandro Tonali looks like the kind of player who belongs in a super team, and Arsenal are trying to become exactly that. So here's the bottom line. And yes, it's favorable to Arsenal because it should be. Even if this remains only a rumor for now, Arsenal being mentioned as a leading contender for Sandro Tonali is a sign of serious ambition, serious vision, and serious standards. It shows the club are being talked about in connection with top-tier players who can instantly upgrade a title-chasing squad. Whether it happens or not, that is the level Arsenal are operating at now, and that should make every fan proud and fired up for what comes next. So tell me, do you think Sandro Tonali would be the perfect Arsenal midfield signing this summer, or would you spend that money elsewhere? Drop your thoughts below, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's build this together.